Here are 6 reasons that you should not step in the ring, step in the cage, and compete, even if it's your biggest dream. Welcome everybody to another episode. Thanks for joining today. And we're going to be talking about that dream you have of stepping in the ring or the cage and having your first competition. Could be your second or third, maybe it's been a while since you've competed, but you got that itch to get back in there. And I understand it, but I want to also provide some words of wisdom, some cautions on why it might not be right for you, even though I've done it 50 plus times. Before we get to those 6 reasons, I want to let everybody know that we have a summer bundle deal at Strike Ready where you can pick up my offense and my defense course, both for just $99. Regular pricing is something like $300. So you're saving around 66%. Awesome deal. And these are the types of courses that you need to take if you're wanting to up your striking skills and have your first fight, assuming it's right for you. But it's not the right move for everybody. And that's what we're talking about today. So the very first reason to me that you should be going, maybe this is not the right move for me. If you have headaches from just sparring already, and I do get these messages quite often. People on Instagram sending me a DM and they're like, Gabriel, I've had a headache for 2 weeks from sparring. I don't know what to do. Should I keep sparring? And obviously the first thing I say is, yeah, you need to go and talk to a health professional and obviously ease back on the sparring right now. So either one of 2 things is happening, in my opinion, if you have headaches from sparring. Number 1, you're going way too hard. Way too hard. You need to ease back dramatically while you build your skills. Like, yes, you're going to get hit, but you shouldn't be getting hit that much that you're leaving with a headache. If you have solid defense or something like that, it's not going to happen that much. Number 2, though, some people, I believe, are just more susceptible to that type of damage, to feeling headaches after even sometimes light impact. And I just know that because I've been hit a decent amount. I've been hit hard. And the number of times where I've left a fight or sparring with a headache, I could count it on my fingers. It might even be like 2 times. So I know that it's not that bad for me in terms of actual headache. In terms of damage to the actual brain, I know it's not good. But if you're somebody who already has headaches from just sparring, you want to consider that you don't want things to get a lot worse. That is my opinion, at least. The next solid reason to not step in the ring and worrying about competing is you just don't care. You love the training. The training is great, but you're feeling outside pressure from everybody to take that fight. They're like, oh yeah, you're so good, you should do it. Look, I went through a stage from about 16 to 19 years old where I was training really hard, but I did not want to fight. And people were telling me all the time, you got to do it, you got to do it, you got to do it. And it just wasn't for me then. I was loving the training, but had no interest in fighting. That ended up switching at some point, but I'm glad I didn't push myself to do it too early because I just didn't want to. So if you are enjoying your training and that's what you want to do for fun and you just love it, keep it that way. There's no need to change because people are telling you you have to compete. Now, I was just doing a Zoom private yesterday, and the gentleman I was doing it with, I watched his fight, met with him, was giving him feedback, and was just like, man, you are gritty, is what I told him, and what he already knew. He was a gritty person in the ring. That means able to take that shot and then just come back and get that shot back. I get hit, you're gonna get hit. I get hurt a little bit, I'm pushing forward. That's that grit, that dog in you, for lack of a better term, that many people do not have. But I think it is something that you do need if you're gonna compete. Unless you're going, oh, I just wanna do it once or twice and that's it. But if you're thinking, oh, I wanna have a decent number of fights, I wanna try and win an amateur title or a local title, you need grit. If you do not have that, if you feel like when you're fighting, you are shying away, you're not able to get that engagement, you break down every time you take a hard shot, you're not going to go very far. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to give up. It means you maybe need to train that. You need to get yourself resilient up here so that you can form it. But it's much easier for people who already have it. Some people come in, they do private lessons with me. I tag them, they're just learning, and I tag them with a little shot and I can tell right away they're trying to hit me back. Other people, after 5-6 years that I've trained with, I tag them and I can see like the tears welling up in their eyes. And they don't have that grit. And fighting is probably not for them. If you have weak defense, fighting's not for you. Why not? Because you're going to get hurt. Well, you're going to get hit a lot and then you're going to get injured. And I don't want that. I don't want that. You shouldn't want that. You should be able to go to a sparring session and defend yourself intelligently, leave, as we already said before, with no headache. Yeah, if you just drop your hands and you start getting hit in the head over and over, yeah, you're going to leave with a headache. But if you know how to defend yourself, even if you are going a little bit harder, you should be fine. And I always tell people on your first fight, you need 3 things. Number 1, you need the cardio to go the whole fight. Number 2, you need the power in your offense to actually hurt this person and put some fear in them. And number 3, you need defense, good defense. If you don't have that, you need to up it. Or just go, okay, again, I don't have the skill set for this, but if you're getting hit and hit and hit and hit in sparring, up it. Up that defense a lot. And that's actually why you should be heading over to Strike Ready, grabbing that bundle and looking through that defense course, right? You get the offense and the defense course, looking through that and figuring out, why is defense not working for me? I break it all down step by step and help you intelligently learn how to protect yourself. Another reason why fighting may not be the right path for you and you should avoid it is you don't have the time to train properly. Or you just don't have that motivation to train properly. You have the time, but you're like, yeah, you know what, twice a week at the gym is fine. If you're going to be taking a fight, you need to take the steps that are required to actually win, to keep yourself safe and actually win. Now, it's not always all about winning, of course, but if you're not winning, you're losing. And if you're losing, you're taking damage. Might not be massive damage, but it's going to be some more damage than if you won. So what are we looking at? What's realistic for your first or second or third, even up to 10 fights? We're going to just look at what I used to do. How often did I train? So you guys understand what is required. If you can't put this in, yes, in my opinion, you should not be fighting. I did 3 days a week where I did an 1.5 to 2 hour kickboxing sessions. 3 times a week. So right there, you need to be allotting something like 4.5 to 6 hours for your striking skills. On the other days, I was doing my cross training, my cardio. That was fast. 20, 30 minutes. Go to a soccer field, do a couple warm-up laps, and then sprint the length of it, jog the width, sprint the length, jog the width. Do that so you get about 1, 2, 3, do it till you get about 8 to 10 times. Little cool down, that's it. 20 minutes, 2 to 3 times per week. So we're talking somewhere between 5.5 to like 7 hours of training time per week. If you do not have the motivation or the time to do that, why bother? Why go in unprepared being like, oh yeah, I was only 50% because I was too busy with school or work. You do want to have time to properly prepare for this because yes, it can be dangerous. And yes, the end result can hurt you a little bit, right? You want to get that win when you're stepping in. If you leave and you go, I pretty much only lost because I didn't put the proper time in, that hurts. It does. So make sure you have the time before you step in the ring. The last reason that I want to mention where maybe fighting is not a path you should take is you are so anxious leading up to it. Now, fear is a normal part of fighting. Competition is scary. knowing you're going to be in front of the crowd and the camera and the lights over top and have that weight cut and have the weeks leading up to it. It's all full of anxiety. I know that. I've done it so many times, and every time in fight camp, every time, there's some point where I ask myself, why do I do this? Why did I do this again to myself? What the heck? But for the most part, I'm able to make life enjoyable. I like my day-to-day time that I have. I'm not miserable and anxious. And I had a training buddy years ago who was very good. Very, very good. He went to Japan on some exchange where he was teaching English, and he had his first and only fight over there. And he said leading up to the fight for whatever it was, 6 to 8 weeks of training, every day he was miserable. It just ate away at him. In his heart, in his head, he did not enjoy a day. And when the fight finished, he was like, oh yes, oh, life is good again. And he talked to me about it, and I just echoed what he was already thinking. It's not for you. Yes, there should be nerves, there should be some anxiety, there should be some stress, but it doesn't ruin my life in training camp. I enjoy my training camp. I just have little moments, tiny little moments where I wonder, why did I do this? But if you're spending the whole time like that, it's just not worth it. It's not for you. Unless you're somebody who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna make this a pro career. I'm so good at this, and I think I can be a UFC champion and make millions of dollars. Somebody like GSP, like he pushed and pushed and pushed, and from what I heard, hated fighting, hated the feeling of it, probably now is so happy he did it. But that's gonna be for like 1 in a million people who are good enough to actually get there and have that awful anxiety. So consider, when you stop and you think about fighting, how does it make you feel? Are you a little bit excited? Does it seem like the worst thing in the world to you? Something that you should think about before going, yeah, I want to fight and put myself through that 6 to 8 week training camp where I might just hate my life. And that's it right there. Those are the 6 reasons why you should maybe not fight. But obviously, as somebody who's done this many, many times, I'm a big advocate for it. I think it is a good thing to step in and do something that is very scary. And after you get your first win or your second one or whatever, and even if you don't get it, you are proud of yourself. You're proud of what you did. You stepped out there and put yourself out on the line. I think there are many good aspects of fighting. I think it makes people strong, confident individuals. So while I'm still an advocate of it, you guys have now those 6 reasons why it might not be for you. And these are the episodes that I love to bring you on the channel that are a little bit different than other people presenting their content, because it's these small things up here, which I've learned throughout the years, which I can share with you and are very unique to what I bring on the Gabriel Varga YouTube channel. Guys, thank you for joining. I will see you back here soon for another video.